Hello YouTube, Dave here again. Just quickly closing in on the holidays here. It's just a few days before Christmas, so I was just out today, did a little bit of last minute shopping, and I kind of had an idea for another video. Just some quick suggestions for people, some last minute gift ideas. Or if you're like I usually am, I don't tend to start shopping until now. So just a few ideas if you know anybody that might be into certain things, some gift giving ideas that might help save a little bit of time. So we'll just kind of go ahead and start here. The first thing is one of the easier things to give people would be things like video games. So, for example, if you know somebody that they're into things like, and I may end up using this example again, but if they're into Lord of the Rings or things of that nature, or even D&D, then you might want to consider picking up Dragon Age Inquisition. It's an absolutely fantastic game, a little on the buggy side at this point, but not in ways that are majorly game-breaking. And I'm sure they'll end up fixing it. In fact, they may have even had some updates since the last time I played it. I've been pretty busy, so I haven't had a chance to get back to this. But this is definitely a good idea if you know somebody that might be into those sort of things. And if they have the game, you may want to consider picking up the strategy guide for it. So this is the hardcover one. I picked this up at my local EB Games, which is what we call it in Canada. You may know it if you're watching the States as GameStop. And when I got this at the same time that I bought the game, so it was 30% off, but it's pretty cool. Has a lot of useful information in there, and there's some collectible stuff in there like a map, which I have somewhere else right now, and a download code for some in-game items. So it's kind of a neat thing if you know somebody that has Dragon Age Inquisition. If sticking with video games, if they're more into horror elements, or if they're a fan of the movie series, for example, then a good one to pick up might be Alien Isolation. This game is really cool, really tense, and it captures the feel and the environment of the original Alien movie, Ridley Scott's Alien. Amazingly well. So this is really cool. Really got into it. I need to get back into this actually. Had some downtime. Moved, kind of re-injured my back, so I didn't really get a lot of chance to relax and play video games, but this is definitely on my list to get back into. And if you know somebody that loves the Alien series, then, if they have a video game system, it's available for, same with Dragon Age Inquisition, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, as well as the version that I have here for the 360. So another thing that I'm into besides video games and role-playing is I'm a pretty big fan of professional wrestling. I've mentioned that in a couple of previous videos. My fiance actually picked me this up not that long ago. Photos of the year, so just some pretty awesome pictures there from the last little bit. Undertaker's my all-time favorite wrestler, so the fact that he was on the cover, I think that's why she ended up picking it up, because she saw that. But this is really cool. It should still be available anywhere that sells magazines right now. And, if you know somebody that's a wrestling fan, this could be a great stocking stuffer. Back on the subject of video games and the last topic, professional wrestling. Oops, bumped the camera there. You may want to consider the wrestling video games. So this is WWA 2K15 for the 360. There's a version out for the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One that's quite a bit different. This one's kind of similar to the previous editions. It's not bad. There's quite a few bugs at this point. There's a lot of DLC. I bought the $25 season pass, and there's still DLC things that they make you pay for, like the WCW Legends pack and stuff like that. So I don't quite know how I feel about this one. There's kind of some minor things, like you can't hear the referee's hand hit the mat when he's counting. They refer to the Intercontinental title as the WWE Championship. So, there's definitely some bugs to work out, but maybe worth looking into. If you can find it, I actually recommend 2K14. Just, way better, way more polished. Features, the 30 years of WrestleMania, so you get to relive a lot of awesome WrestleMania moments. So, I guess this in a pinch. But if you can find this one, if you know somebody who's a wrestling fan, if they don't have this already, this could be an awesome Christmas present for them. Then there's DVDs. I'm a huge fan of collecting wrestling DVDs. I prefer mostly the documentary types, but there's some other ones that I kind of like as well. So I just recently picked up Attitude Era Volume 2. It's mostly collections of matches, promo segments, and stuff like that, but there are a few little clips in between where wrestlers kind of tell stories, behind the scenes stuff, which is really cool. If you want to know whose idea it was for the Godfather to become, his character to become a pimp, it's in here. I'm not going to spoil it, so, if you ever know somebody's a wrestling fan, this is a cool one. Then, of course, another one that I recently picked up is the Best of Sting. He just recently made his appearance in WWE for the first time. He was one of the only people that I really liked watching in WCW, even if his gimmick when he went to the Crow gimmick was a little bit reminiscent of The Undertaker's, with, having the bird and coming down from the ceiling and underneath the ring. But it was really cool. Love Sting. This is a great DVD set as well. The best one I think that came out this year would definitely have to be, and if you know somebody's a wrestling fan, if they don't have this, you should really try to get it for them, is, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman. One of the greatest speakers in professional wrestling history. This goes into his, background, and it's pretty honest documentary. Really awesome. There's bonus discs which are just filled with like promo segments that he did. And I haven't got a chance to watch them yet, but I'm really looking forward to them. This is a must-have if you know somebody who's a wrestling fan. All right, just gotta move this stuff out of the way here. I'm just gonna set it down on the floor. All right, so next, one other thing. If you know somebody that has portable gaming, young or old, should be able to enjoy Ultimate NES Remix. I've been playing this. It's amazing. There's a lot of games featured in here that I never had a chance to really play as a kid. There are ones that I would probably never want to play again. Kid Icarus and Metroid, because I don't like the controls in those games, the jumping mechanics and things like that. But this is really awesome. I think it would make a great gift if you had, a young kid. This is kind of like a history lesson of video games, where it all came from. And for older, people like myself, grew up with this sort of thing. Amazing buy. There's also games like Smash Brothers for the 3DS, and there's some new Pokemon games. I don't own any of those at this time, but this is an example of a great game you can get somebody. Alright, let's talk a little bit about role-playing. So we'll get to the next thing here. If you have some younger people that you know, and they like the Lord of the Rings movies, for example, they like playing, role-playing games on computers like World of Warcraft or things like that, you might want to consider picking up the 5th edition D&D starter set. It retails for around, let's just have a look here, $19.99 US, $23.99 Canadian. It's not really something that's going to be overly useful for experienced players, but if you know somebody who's new or somebody that collects D&D stuff, this might definitely be a great thing. For new players, it's a great way to get started and make them a lifelong fan of D&D. Comes with a set of dice, pre-made characters, a little rule book, and an adventure. So you got everything you need to run a few D&D sessions. So this would be a really cool thing, especially for people who are into stuff like Lord of the Rings movies, maybe play World of Warcraft online or stuff like that. This would be a great way for them to get together with their friends and actually sit around a table and have a good time. Now, for the more experienced D&D players out there, you might want to consider getting them the new 5th edition books. Unless they tend to run or DM, then you probably want to stay away from getting them the adventures. But you can never really go wrong with the core books. So we got the Player's Handbook, which is absolutely amazing. This is everything you need to make characters. You've got the Dungeon Master's Guide for people who like to run the game. And you got the Monster Manual, which again is something that you should probably only get for people who like to run these sort of things. If they're just regular players, then just stick with the Player's Handbook. And that's all that they need. If they kind of like to run, then you can look at, maybe getting them one of these. They are a bit pricey. They tend to run for, I think it's 58 Canadian and $49.95 US. So you probably don't want to get them all three. As far as I know, there's no gift set or anything out yet for it that would combine them all. But, maybe pick up at least one of these for somebody that might be into gaming. All right. Yeah, we're kind of getting to the end here. So if you know somebody that's into card games, a few different things that you can get. So I just recently picked this up not that long ago, Magic the Gathering core set, which came with 125 somewhat semi-randomized cards, so I think they're basically kind of generic ones in each of the packs. There are 4 boosters from different sets, 100 basic land cards, and a little thing for rules and stuff like that, reference cards, and the box itself. So this is the slipcover that goes over it, and then the box itself. So it's kind of neat. This was around $25 Canadian, so I think it's around 20, maybe $21 US. So if you know somebody that's sort of into this kind of thing, this might be an idea. If they're interested in it, this would be a good place to start. There's also the fat packs, which they tend to release for the different sets as they come out. I think this is the most recent one, the Cons of Tarkir. I did do a video where I unboxed it, but this included 9 random boosters, 80 basic land cards, a little spin down life token, and a couple of boxes that they can put their decks in, as well as a booklet. Visual Encyclopedia shows all the cards, has a checklist, stuff like that. This cost me $39.99 at EB Games, and you can find them at places like Walmart, but they tend to be a little pricier. Now, another thing that I just picked up that I haven't actually opened yet, I'll do an unboxing video for this at some point, is the something that might be perfect for this time of year, holiday gift box. So it basically has 4 booster packs, 20 basic land cards, some dividers that you can use to separate the cards, and there's, I guess, some stickers that you can use to customize the dividers. So it shows here that they have it separated by like rare, mythic, rare, stuff like that. I would probably just do it by color, and I guess there's a promo card in here as well. So it's pretty cool. This was actually cheaper at Walmart than it was at EB Games, only by about $1. But this is something, it's specifically designed for the holidays. It says holiday gift box, so it's something that's, you know, relatively cheap. Comes with a great big box that they can store their cards in, though, so that's something that may be pretty useful, and just a great last minute Christmas gift. Yeah, get these out of the way. Alright, so the last thing I wanted to talk about right now would be some board games. So there's all kinds of things out there, like Settlers of Catan, Carcassonne. There's a lot of games like that. I don't own any of those, but what I do own, I just picked this up the other day, and I do have a video that I shot where I opened up and showed the contents, which should be put up, I'd say, hopefully within the next day or so. Dungeon. This game was released originally by TSR back in the 70s. This is the 2014 version. They did another one in 2012 with more realistic artwork, so this is a little more cartoony, but the game itself is still the same. It's sort of like a competitive thing, up to 8 players. This could be a lot of fun, especially if you know people that are into D&D. This might be something that you can just have them, you know, get together, play quickly. You don't have to understand how to play D&D to play this, which I think is a great thing. So this could be a really great buy for somebody at the holidays. And the last thing I picked up here, just see if I can get it, is Zelda Monopoly. I've been looking to get into Monopoly for a little while now. Picked up a sorry, just a little bit of dirt there. Picked up a children's version of the game, played with the little one and the missus, but this is Zelda themed. So, you know, the box art there is, or the board is pretty cool. They're all areas that you'd find in Zelda games. And if you buy this at EB Games or GameStop, where I got mine, there's an exclusive piece where you get the Ocarina of Time. Other ones are Triforce, Hylian Shield, Bow, Boomerang, and Hookshot. So this is really cool. The normal version, I think, comes in a box that's more shaped like this. But I got this version here, 2 to 6 players. Haven't played it yet, but I'm looking really forward to it. Zelda is my all-time favorite game series, so this is just absolutely amazing. And something that if you know somebody that's into Legend of Zelda, this, even if, you know, this would make a great item for them. So those were just a few suggestions for some holiday Christmas presents. I hope that helped if you're still trying to figure out what to get people, or if there's things that, you know, you never quite thought of before. You know, I hope that helps. I know I usually save my shopping for around this time of the year, so it can be hectic, and it can be difficult sometimes. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. I do plan on shooting an unboxing video for this year quite soon. Should be up perhaps even the same day. But we'll at least post this one for now. Anyway, thank you very much for watching YouTube, and I hope you have pleasant holidays.